You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission is hosting the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit right here at the Montego Bay Convention Center, a first for Jamaica. And Business Access TV is here with all the highlights of day one. I'm Shelley and Hill. Stay with us.
When Elizabeth contacted the BJLC last year to propose hosting the Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit here, the team immediately recognized this as an important opportunity that could contribute to the development of our local industry. They realized that this summit would enable Jamaica's gambling industry to build greater connections with the international gaming industry within the region and beyond, and vice versa, of course. For the past 3 years, the Commission has hosted the BGLC Summit for our local gaming industry. And it is quite logical that the evolution of that event would be exactly what is happening here today. A multinational conference that brings together the Jamaican gaming industry and our colleagues from around the world. We firmly believe that staging the Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit in Jamaica, let's call it CGS 2000 for short, and your presence here today confirms that Jamaica is increasingly gaining the attention of the industry beyond our shores and acknowledges that the island is poised to become another leading gaming enclave in the Caribbean. Hosting CGS 2017 in Jamaica is another step towards achieving some of the Commission's primary aims, mainly to provide value to our stakeholders, to better able to regulate current and future industry opportunities, to prepare to protect the revenue-generating capacity of existing and emerging gaming channels, and to be able to manage risk and challenges, such as those present by the anti-money laundering, de-risking, and online gaming. The team at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission is committed to our duty to ensuring the sustained and orderly development of Jamaica's gaming industry. Events such as these will not only meet that objective, but also serve to keep our stakeholders and the Commission's team members informed about emerging trends and best practice in the global industry. I've joined the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission at an important juncture, as while the team continues to strive to achieve optimal efficiency and productivity and aims to provide a customer-friendly experience to our stakeholders, the impending merger with the Jamaica Racing Commission and the Casino Gaming Commission demands greater emphasis on ensuring we have strong technical and management teams with the right competencies and the knowledge in place. Stakeholders and visitors, you are joined today by a number of the BGLC team members from our key operational divisions. I'm sure everyone will agree that this summit is an excellent platform for networking. So as we hear from experts in the areas of anti-money laundering, esports, iGaming, and other topics over these 2 days, we look forward to dynamic discussions and exchange of ideas, both in the plenary sessions and outside the main conference room.
We're joined by Mr. Vitus Evans, Executive Director of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. We welcome you, sir. And certainly you must be feeling pretty proud having this wonderful summit here. Tell us a little bit about the preparations that were put in place to host the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Conference.
We have an international flavor this year. And I'm very proud and very happy in terms of the turnout. We had well over 400 persons attending the conference. And that gave our local stakeholders an opportunity to connect and to interact with the international gaming community And that's been great. I mean, to that extent, it's been great. The preparation wasn't too difficult in that, as I said, our normal annual conference, we make the preparations for that. So it was just to actually go on the same rule, but actually just some extension to prepare for our international guests that came over to Jamaica.
Fantastic. And of course, we've been hearing a lot about regulation and compliance. How important are regulation and compliance to the local betting gaming industry?
No, well, I mean, the local gaming industry, I mean, there must be compliance because we work by certain standards, and those are set by statutes. I mean, you have the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, and you have the Act that actually guides all our actions. And in order to protect our gaming public, we must ensure that they're compliant by our licenses. We work very closely for our licenses, and we see them as partners in terms of growing the industry. But at the same time, we can't lose sight of the fact that we are regulators, and we have to regulate the industry to actually ensure that there's a confidence of the public in actually participating in gaming in Jamaica. Hence the reason for the compliance for the standards that we have set. And we have a very good compliance department that work very closely with our licensees and stakeholders. But we also have a strong enforcement department that ensures that those whatever regulations are complied with.
Online gaming in its various forms present new challenges for regulators globally. To put this in context, in 2015, the online gaming market had a volume of $37.91 billion US. And this figure is forecasted to increase to $51.96 billion US by 2018. While our existing legislation, the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act, does not yet contemplate this new frontier of gaming, we at the BGLC do envision a more agile and responsive regulatory model that encompasses all modern forms of gaming activities. To this end, our legislative committee is well advanced in preparing amendments to modernize and broaden the scope of the legislation to make it more relevant and consistent with industry developments. With the global proliferation of internet and mobile gambling in all its various forms, the presentations today by Alex Eigelman of Millennium Esports and Louis Del Valle of Gaming Laboratories International are of particular interest to enlighten us about the developments, opportunities, and challenges of our new variations of gambling products. Alex will reveal to us the excitement of esports, which is rapidly transforming from being a subculture activity to the mainstream, with the demand for gambling on esports following a path of rapid growth. I also look forward to tomorrow's session, where interactive gaming again takes center stage, both at the plenary session and the Caribbean Regulators Forum, with further insights from speakers such as Jason Rosenberg, Keith McDonald, Kevin Vonasek, and others who will share their insights on lessons learned from other jurisdictions in terms of key elements of the regulations, opportunities that this segment presents, and how challenges are being overcome as other jurisdictions implement regulations for interactive gaming.
We recognize that there cannot be a vibrant racing industry without a strong horse population with quality horses. Sustaining and advancing such an industry means capitalizing, have it properly capitalized, and providing the tools and synergies necessary for it to grow. Divesting CTL has allowed well-needed investments to flow into the sector to drive these initiatives. And the Racing Commission will also be improving its training capacity to boost its certification courses in horse racing. The intention is to position Jamaica as a training hub for the occupational groups within the industry. In other words, we want to be a training hub for the region, okay? Serving the needs of our local, Caribbean, and international markets, and in turn, adding another revenue stream for the Commission. To this end, the Racing Commission is actively pursuing discussions with representatives of the Pearl of the Caribbean. You may recall that the Chinese are building a state-of-the-art track in St. Lucia under a US $2.6 billion investment. The St. Lucian authorities have expressed an interest in partnering with our local training schools to provide certification and training to their jockeys, grooms, trainers, and other racing officials as they position themselves to leverage this investment to develop their industry. These synergies will undoubtedly lead to great revenue and the overall growth of our sector. And you know, as I speak of the region, the truth is that, and I think of the Chinese and their investment in St. Lucia, we have a great partnership with the Chinese in Jamaica as well. And part of that partnership was the construction of a north-south highway that connects our capital city with Ocho Rios, which is part of the tourism capital. But what else does it do, Ed? It also connects Caymanas Track to the tourism area. It now becomes a 45-minute drive from Ocho Rios to Caymanas Park. There you go, Paul. Start promoting among the tourism belt that just take a 45-minute drive on the highway and you're at the Caymanas Track Limited. There you go. I'm giving free consulting advice to Supreme Ventures. Our casino segment is also courting new investors. Since last year, the Casino Commission has met with 2 large international investors, which are now advanced in the preparation of their applications for integrated resort development status. With these developments, as well as the legislation being crafted to support interactive and online gaming, Jamaica's betting, gaming, and lottery sector are indeed positions for growth. As an example of what this sector generates, we can examine the revenue performance in the last few years. For fiscal year 16-17, last year, the gaming sector recorded 111 billion Jamaican dollars in revenue, compared with $91.9 billion in the previous year. This is a 21% increase in revenue performance. The lottery segment posted almost $37 billion in 16-17, some $1.9 billion over the previous year. The betting sector recorded a 12% growth over the $8.9 billion of the previous year to close at $10.04 billion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we recognize that unscrupulous individuals would want to tap these revenues to fund illegal activities. And that is why the government, through the regulator, increased its surveillance of the industry and will extend all the resources necessary to clamp down on illegal gaming. There is still a lot of work to be done. Remember, illegal gaming also robs the revenue from government, which is critical. There is still a lot of work to be done to increase the level of compliance in the industry, but I'm sure, having witnessed the fallout of de-risking themselves, operators are now taking steps to improve their own mechanisms to this end.
We are of the view that once all the regulations are in place, the gaming industry will be of fundamental importance to our tourism product, as well as to the rest of the region, giving us more than a fighting chance to compete with rival jurisdictions. This 2-day gathering will also provide the opportunity to look at and study different proposals and ideas surrounding gaming, as well as being able to look at what's going on in the world around us, assess what's happening in our jurisdiction, and appreciate that we now have an opportunity to seriously get in the game as an important part of this global phenomenon. When we look at successful gaming jurisdictions around the world and the positive impact the industry has had on tourism, we can truly salivate at the potential and prospects of our own homegrown product. Also, every day it would seem like a new destination is getting into gaming, reinforcing the point that we have to get our collective houses in order and build on what many of us have already started. It goes without saying then that not only do we have to be introducing new games, we also have to be competitive. Many of the Caribbean countries that didn't have gaming before are now considering gaming or have introduced gaming. Our legislation will be seeking to advance our gaming to ensure that we're offering what is being offered around the world, and even better, so that we can attract more people, because tourism is indeed our main industry, not only here in Jamaica, but in the entire region. And I'm going to, just before I close, tell you in 1 second how critical tourism is for the Caribbean. 16 of the 28 countries in the Caribbean have tourism as their main industry. Tourism contributes more than 40% of the GDP of the Caribbean. 1 in 5 jobs in the Caribbean is tourism or tourism related. Last year, 30 million people visited the Caribbean, spending $27 billion. In 16 of the 28 countries, tourism represents more than 54% of their GDP. But there is a little problem. The problem is one word called leakage. That the expenditure from tourism leaks out. And in the Caribbean, we have the highest incidence of leakage. 80% of the dollar goes back out from the Caribbean. In Jamaica, 30%. So we have to find another word to match this word called leakage. And that word is linkage. And it is a linkage that is going to reduce or eliminate, guess what? The leakage. And gaming and attractions and more experiences generated by the people within the Caribbean is central to plugging the leakage. So gaming is a key linkage in tourism that will drive local activity and will enable more of the dollar to stay within our destination.
And we're speaking with Javier Chicho Mesere of Golden Race. And of course, he's joining us right here as we explore the wonderful sites. And we want to ask you first and foremost, how is it going so far?
Well, it's our first time in a Caribbean Gaming Show, but we are very excited because we have a lot of expectative for the Caribbean market.
Yes. And of course, what were your expectations coming into this wonderful summit?
Well, there are a lot of operators here. For me, it's really, really good because it's a first time in a summit. We are looking to see a lot of operators for the same place.
Yes.
That's too important for the gambling company. Yes. We like to enter here to operate. We are keeping in touch with different companies, yes. And we have a good project to do here. Yes. And we spent the best for the gambling show to meet different operators.
Yes. Yes. All right, Javier, can you tell us a little bit more about Golden Race and what it's all about?
Golden Race is the most important virtual games company in the world. We produced pre-recorded games, 3D games, and mixed. We are the only company in the world who produces with real person and 3D backgrounds. Yes, we launched last year fighting games with real fighters, usually championship of Europe in different martial arts, and with real odds. Our company produces the games, we do the support, we do everything in the process of the game. We don't operate, we supply the best software in all the world.
And we're now joined by Mr. Aaron Gilbert, Operations Director of Ben Industries. Mr. Gilbert, what brings you to Jamaica?
Well, firstly, of course, the 7th Annual Caribbean Gaming Summit, our interest in responsible gaming, as well as, some of the new technologies that are being displayed here, so that we could take that back and somewhat try to enhance or improve on, our industry back home, our gaming industry back home.
What were your expectations coming to the summit, and are they being met so far?
Well, this is actually my first time to Jamaica, which I must say I'm pretty impressed. I haven't had the opportunity to take Jamaica in, but the hospitality, the people, the culture, it's all very, very, very overwhelming in a good way. Other Caribbean countries are embracing technology, embracing the changes of the industry on the whole worldwide, and to see if we can pick up some Easter eggs of our own as well and help others overcome certain obstacles that they may have had along the way.
After the break, we'll bring you more highlights of the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit Day 1. I like that. Welcome back to the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit. Now, let's get back to the action. Yes. Whoa, oh my gosh, yes. Ooh, come on.
So I want to say 6 words that you should take away with you, I hope, in terms of what you do at the various commissions, what you do wherever you are, in terms of if you are a stakeholder in terms of Jamaica complying with its international obligations. And these words are these: reputation, reputation, reputation. And the other 3 words are compliance, compliance, compliance. Because if we don't do those things together, then we are placing in jeopardy the economic well-being not only of Jamaica or even of the operators in this sector, but also the Jamaican economy, the ability of the government to meet the day-to-day needs of its citizens in terms of providing jobs, but also the economic well-being of the region as a whole. The interest in gaming can be traced back for 40,000 years, and therefore it's one of mankind's oldest pursuits. And as it was then, so it is now, given all that the minister said, but there have been changes. And the minister spoke about the technological advances, esports, online betting. The minister spoke about how the sector has developed over the years. So patrons are it's no longer necessary for patrons to go to premises physically. You can do so online. And there are new products to be developed in the future. So what was once illegal is now legal and playing a very important role to our national economy. In some countries, government policy for generating revenue to provide jobs and to meet the day-to-day needs of citizens is now directed towards the joint development of tourism and gaming. And Minister Bartlett spoke about that very, very effectively. In other countries, the government is an important player in this sector, with a share of the revenue going to good causes like funding social programs for young people and even training athletes for the Olympics. However, the positive environment in the gaming sector in which the gaming sector operates has to be tempered with the growing and forceful demands of the global agenda, which is dictated by the G7 and G20 and focuses on effective implementation of the international standards to combat money laundering and the financing of terrorism, and also the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. And so I want to repeat again the mantra for all gaming operators and regulators should be compliance, compliance, compliance with these standards because of the implications for your international reputation. A strong culture of compliance is important to the viability of the gaming industry, and the tone of compliance should be set from the top. Boards of directors and senior management must ensure that the business is guided by strong AML-CFT policies that provide adequate resources for the compliance function, and that the control systems are monitored regularly and adjusted in keeping with the products that are offered and the risk environment in which the business operates. So as the minister spoke about online gaming, then you have to be mindful that you have to adjust your AML-CFT programs to meet these new products and the risks that they bring with them. The role of the regulators is also important, and it's critical to high levels of compliance with the international standards. Fit and proper testing for new licensees, as well as their associates, in terms of being involved in the management and ownership of gaming houses, gaming lounges, and ensuring that annual filings are done as required, that records are kept for maybe 7 years so that you can assist in terms of law enforcement being able to investigate criminal offenses, bring charges, have successful prosecutions, and eventually take the profit out of crime by confiscating illegal proceeds.
So esports really is a form of competition. It's competitive video gaming. And basically, it's any type of game that people play competitively against each other. So many of you are familiar with console games like Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. Those are games that people play. Some of those games are one versus the computer player. Others are games where you play against other people. And then there's also PC games. And so these are games that people play competitively. As an example, let's take a game called Call of Duty you may have heard of, or Halo. So these are games that people play against each other, and typically competitive video gaming is made up of teams. So there'll be either 4 or 5 people in a team playing against another team of 4 or 5 people. And as you'll see from the presentation, this industry has exploded and really is at a point now that it is rivaling conventional sports. Here's some demographics. 65% are between the ages of 18 to 24, male. 43% have annual incomes of over $75,000 US a year. And these are very key points to take a hold of. 49% of them spend most of their free time consuming esports. So aside from playing video games, they're involved in esports in many ways. And so a lot of them are watching esports, playing esports, betting on esports, which we'll talk about in a minute. And 60% are willing to travel to attend tournaments and events. Very important for a country like Jamaica or others that tourism is an important thing. You hold a big tournament here, it's no different than a big boxing match, a big UFC fight. People will come to travel and see this event. And so understanding that, people in the travel and tourism segment can understand how they can use this, and we'll talk about it, as a new form of entertainment to attract tourists. This little video, I'm just going to show you quickly. This is our arena in Las Vegas that we built. That's my company. That's a studio, an arena, seats about 1,000 people, right in downtown Las Vegas. Las Vegas, and you'll see in a moment, and Nevada has really pushed esports. It's become a very big focus of the casinos, and I'll explain why. It's entering the mainstream, as I said. Again, quotes from Forbes, we don't have to go into them, but the bottom line is that these events take place in small arenas like ours, but also in big arenas like the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, where 15,000 people came to watch video games, a game called League of Legends, which many of you probably have never even heard of. But it was enough to sell out within hours, and 15,000 people crammed the Air Canada Centre. Same thing with the Staples Centre. Just for those of you that don't know as well, the NBA has announced a partnership with NBA 2K, which is a video game, and now there's going to be an NBA League, a video game league, where the actual teams, the 17 of the 30 teams, have already opted in to be part of this video game league. So it's real world and the world of video games, and they're merging. This is a quick video just to show you what an event is like. It's one we did with Microsoft and in our arena in November.
Las Vegas qualifier. Let's make some noise.
Microsoft put up the money here. There's a big prize pool. Was attended by over 1,000 people. We have over 30,000 people watching online, and it was a hugely successful event in our arena.
They are going to the Halo World Championships.
So with that, I'm just going to conclude by saying, esports, if you don't know about it, you better.
Weapons free. Contact.
Let's get started. Going to show you a quick video just to kind of plug you in. What is virtual reality? VR, as it's known as, fully immersive, and that word is very critical, fully immersive computer simulated environment that gives you the feeling of being in that environment instead of the one you're actually in. It, of course, all starts with your brain and tricking your brain. And I want you to just see how easily this happens in a 2D environment. So when your brain has a sense of presence, along with a mix of illusion, timed coordination, and interaction in a virtual environment, that simulation then becomes so real that you forget the computer, the headset, the accessories, and act exactly as you would in the real world. VR is so easy to get started. Here is what we call the headset. You'll need a headset known as a stereoscopic display to make what you see three-dimensional and to give you depth and to what you're looking at is much like you see naturally. If you don't want to spend much on it, you can also use your smartphone. And so you can buy the headsets and plug your smartphone in. There are other sensory stimulations that can be added. So you can have a VR experience with just the headset, but you can imagine how much further immersed you will be if you have audio. So you can use headsets to it, and also to get tactile feedback. So in this case here, you're seeing what we call VR controllers that are used in many demonstrations out there. Along with this, the VR system needs to be able to track your motion. So basically, how does this all work? It all comes together, in essence, tracking your eye and head movements, as well as your controller, your arms. This signals the system to render the image displayed in your headset and change with your perspective. So if you turn your head to the left, the display in your headset will render and show you what's to the left in the simulated environment. Tracking controllers, which you hold in your hands, will complete the total immersion, where you can gain a certain amount of control, such as walking forward, backwards, to the left and the right, and walk through that virtual environment, as well as interacting with objects. So you can pick up things, you can touch things, you can reach out and interact with that virtual world. So it doesn't just feel like a 3D movie that you're watching. Once you can freely move through that environment and interact with the things in it, your brain can truly perceive that environment or the world as real, or what we call virtual reality. Thanks to Lucky VR, they also provided us with another VR demo called Slots Million, which offers a VR version of their online casino. We're going to give you a demo of this as we suit up our volunteer. What you're going to see on screen is what he's seeing in his helmet, but the difference in all of this is that he is being immersed into a 3D world. Okay, we hear the slot machines. All right, we're going to move him forward into the casino. All right. Thaddeus, remember, you don't have to walk. We're going to do all the work. All right, Thaddeus, you can take a look around. Take a look to the left and right. You can look up and down. And you're actually in this room. We'll take you to the bar for a drink, but you can do that after. And just letting you know, he's never done this before, so this is first time experience. All right, Gary, let's take him to the machine. Now you must understand, for him, he is really looking down at a screen, and his natural want is to actually reach out and touch the screen and hold something. So we're in the game. As you can see, all the controls are there. You can up your bet, different levels, place your bets. And in this case, we're going to go see if Thaddeus can win something. Ah, very good, Thaddeus. Nothing? One more time. One more time. as part of the sports betting opportunity that we see, we're going to show you and introduce to you what Lewis had introduced to you, as well as augmented reality. I have a quick video just to kind of give you an idea of what we've just shown is virtual reality, but augmented reality is a type of virtual reality that blends what the user sees in their real surroundings with digital content generated by computer software. So take a look at this video. This was happening in a mall. And what people saw on screen was augmented, just like in this game, which is in the middle of the street. Likewise, back in the mall. And it is interactive. So while you're not immersed in a real world, you're actually augmenting your world. So that's really cool, and actually if you do experience it, it's even cooler. But imagine mixing these technologies now. And so what if we could immerse you into a live horse race, and we turn you into the jockey? And you can actually bet on your horse and see where you are, where you end up at the end of that race. We're going to put Thaddeus again, once again, ask you to become a jockey just for 1 minute. This one is a little bit easier. This is a wireless headset. I think we're only going to be able to see it on the two end screens.
The line now, they're locked up.
So this is what he's seeing.
And they're off. And the starter caught them well. Schloss Schneeberg and Our Quick Arch away the best. Showing early speed. Golden Jigs the great. Opportunity goes towards Mahogany Cat. Drives to the front. Mahogany Cat spurts clear by 2 to Maze Flash and Never Worn. They've gone to 2nd and 3rd. Now to 4th. Golden Jigs. Rebellion Stream is behind them on the inside from that through Mister from Our Quick Arch. One to Schloss Schneeberg and off the track best to the box around the outside.
Tell Thaddeus to look up.
Double Eagle. Back to the rear.
You'll see the screen at the top above. Thaddeus can actually see where he is in the game.
It's Mahogany Cat by a leg as they head to the 3/8. Never Worn 2nd.
I think he's riding Rebellion.
Golden Jigs 3rd. Then Maze Flash. Rebellion Stream is 4 off the pace, running on a bit now.
Rebellion's Dream.
Couple away. Schloss Schneeberg.
Right, Thaddeus.
Ground. In the center is Our Quick Arch. The inside.
Thaddeus, you can look behind you, Look where the other jockeys are.
Scraping pain. Mahogany
Tell him to look behind him.
Trying to be nursed home here. Maze Flash. The inside. Golden Jigs and Schloss Schneeberg.
Thaddeus, he's just going for good. We've lost Thaddeus.
There, Mahogany Cat. They're swarming late, but to no avail. Rebellion Stream home. Scores 2 lengths.
All right. Excellent. Oh yes.
A game of skill contains one or more elements in the design that which can be leveraged by a player to impact the return percentage of that game. So what I'm trying to say is if you have the proper skill in a game, you could win more. If you do not have that skill, you probably can not lose, but win less. Let's put it that way, all right? So this new type of game, we're going to see a short little video in a moment, but I just want to talk to you on that. I know that Alex mentioned on his presentation a little bit topic on the skill-based game. This is taken from the GLI 11. The new 3.0 version talks about skill-based games. Regardless that this machine doesn't have a pay table or rails, the regulator still needs to verify that this game has been played under a certain hold. And of course, the game has to make money for the house. So there are standards written specifically for the skill-based machine. For example, any game with skill where there's a potential for a style or method of play that to resort in a game falling below the minimum, the game should disclose this. So if you're playing a game, a skill-based game, the game will tell you, hey, guy, if you play incorrectly this game, you're going to be playing below the whole percentage of the game. And it's going to be right because it's disclosing you to do this. And again, the reason that I'm talking about this new technology, it is here. We will see it at the show. It is in Vegas. A lot of this new equipment has been implemented, new technology. And I was surprised that when I got in, I saw one of the new augmentation reality equipment here that I'm going to briefly talk because I know that you guys will have a nicer demonstration. But just to demonstrate how quick technology moves, I am about to say about that technology that you be prepared because it's going to be here. And when I walk to the door, somebody was using it here for the demonstration. So all of this technology that I'm going to mention, you will see it soon. Regulators need to be prepared with proper technical standards because somebody, some operator, some investor will come to the island and propose the gaming modality.
What we've done is we've taken our Frogger game, which is a very famous Konami game, probably the most famous Konami game, and we've turned it into a skill-based video game for money, for real money wagering. In this case, there are no spinning reels. The skill-based part of the game is hopping your frog through the familiar road course and river crossing. The farther you go, the better your upgrade symbols are and the better your prize awards are. And there's also a leaderboard so that you can challenge your friends for high scores and put that on social media. And so this is a game that we think will appeal to those kind of Gen X millennials, but also something that will work with the core player. So I'm going to show you how you play. You need to hop through without landing somewhere that is unsafe. And you want to collect coins along the way. So I got a score of 142,000. Now I get to pick them, and I get to pick a lily pad. There's two odds: one wheel, pick a lily pad. 2 credits, 2 4 credits, and 1 8 credits. I got 4 credits, so I bet $2 to get in the game, and I won $1 back.
I never thought that I was going to be able to see this type of new development. No reels, but you are gambling and you are winning. And this type of machines will have the whole percentage as a normal slot machines. Next topic, persistent game. Basically, this type of game is more related to video games, also with skill-based games. And it's probably everybody knows about this type of games where you play and you can save at the level that you are playing. So when you return to the casino, you can log in using your ID or your customer card for that particular casino or site. You can continue to play where you left. So this is something that regulators need to be an awareness because it will require also some technical standards to ensure that where you actually stay at, it would not have any influence. If let's say that you're winning and then you stop, you don't want that when you return the machine suddenly start behaving different than where you left, right?
And that's it from day one of the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit. I'm Shelly Hill for Business Access TV, serious about business.